Have you ever wondered what are the things that cruise passengers complain the most about to guest services? I've got the inside scoop for you in this video. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now, if you watch this video, this may just help you if you do play one of the passenger participation games, the Friendly Feud. Yes, we were just on a cruise on the Oasis of the Seas, and this was one of the games that was played. And they had a very interesting question come up. I stayed and I watched and listened to the answers, and I've got some inside scoop for you. Plus, I did a little bit of research on my own, and I have the information that you've been wanting to know. What are the 10 things that cruise passengers complain the most about to guest services? Now, we can make this a little bit of fun by you playing along with me. So let me know down in the comments if you guessed these same ones or if you have any other ones to add. I'm sure there are. Let's get started. Number one, the first reason that people go to see guest services is that they've lost their cruise card or that they need a new cruise card to get into their cabin. Now, definitely, I can tell you that over all of the years until I started to use a cruise lanyard, which I did on this past cruise, I definitely was one of those people that sometimes lost my cruise card. And my kids have even lost their cruise card in the past as well, especially when they were teenagers. And I definitely know that I've been in line at guest services and I have seen people do this as well. Now, please let me know if you've ever gone to guest services because you lost your cruise card or maybe even your cruise medallion if you've been on a Princess cruise ship. Number two reason that people go to guest services is to complain. Now, I'm sure this doesn't surprise you either, but I did really think that this was very, very broad. And so I do have some points towards the end of this video to be a little bit more specific because I definitely have heard quite a lot of things, especially on my last cruise, but I've heard this before on other cruises as well. Now, before I continue, I did want to mention that if you like the video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give the video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I would love to have you here within the LifeWell Cruise community. Number three, passengers go to see guest services because they have questions about their bill or their invoice on the cruise ship. So sometimes they want it printed out. Sometimes they just have questions about some of the different charges. This is perfectly legitimate, by the way. So if you do have questions, don't shy away from going over to guest services. Now, even though you can usually see your invoice or your bill right on your phone in the app and as well even on your stateroom TV. But if you do have questions, make sure that you do go ask guest services and never wait until the last morning of your cruise. Number four, they change money with guest services. Now, this one surprised me a little bit because in recent years, I haven't really seen people change money very much at guest services. But please let me know if you have, if you do this, why you might do this. I guess it's just not something that I do or that I've really noticed, at least in recent times. Number five, people go to guest services basically looking for something that they've lost around the cruise ship. So looking for something in the lost and found. Now, this might be their cruise card, but it could also be their cell phone, their camera. We have seen people in the past that have lost their camera going to the lost and found. And as well, sometimes people are carrying around maybe a small handbag or a tote bag. Those are all things that can get lost or misplaced. And definitely that is something that you can go to guest services about. Number six, cruise passengers are asking the guest services for directions. So maybe they're looking for one of the specialty restaurants. Maybe they're looking for where is a theater. And especially on those big ships, it can be hard to find things. Now, technology, I do think, is making things a little bit easier. We could find oftentimes those little maps on our phone. We can find the directions, and even sometimes on the walls of the cruise ships, we now sort of have these navigational systems where we can find things. But of course, if you want to have some directions, you can also ask guest services. Now, those were the 6 items that were mentioned in the game show Friendly Feud. So if you got all of these, you pretty much won the game show. However, I have 4 more that I absolutely know that people do go to guest services about. Number 7, canceled ports and changes in itineraries. Now, I have to say, this is something when it does happen on a cruise ship, there is almost nothing that will get passengers as upset and going to guest services than this. We've seen it on cruise ships. Please let me know if you have as well. Number 8, issues with their cruise cabin. So cruise passengers, of course, this is something that they go to guest services about. So whether it's maybe a bad smell in the cabin, that the cabin is not cleaned that well, maybe there's a problem in terms of the noise in the area of the cabin, all reasons people do go to guest services. Number 9. Now this one is a little bit controversial, but you know that it happens. It is passengers go to guest services because they do want to remove the gratuities or make a change in the gratuities that are auto-charged to their account. Now, please let me know, do you think that this should have been on this list? You and I both know this is definitely something that guest services does have to deal with on a cruise. Number 10, people have questions about the weather, and they definitely go to guest services to ask about what is the weather going to be like, when is it going to stop raining, what are the sea conditions like if there's a storm and there's a lot of movement. People definitely want to know, when is this going to stop? And in some cases, I think they're even looking for some seasickness medication, but that is an aside. Now, please let me know, are these the things that you think people go to guest services about? Did any of these things surprise you? And do you have different things that you think people also go to guest services about, or even different ones altogether? Please let me know down in the comments below. Now, if you are planning a cruise, I'm going to leave a video right after this one all about the things that you'll want to do in these 60 days before your cruise vacation so that you can be completely prepared. Now, if you did enjoy this video, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'd love to have you here within the Life While Cruise community. Bye for now, and happy cruising.